Okay, May 7th. I made a few modifications to the system. In short, I've added a slow sand filter, a big loop here as an airlock. I catch all the air that's being blown into the aerobic reactor plus whatever's being produced by the bacteria in the aerobic reactor, and I vent it out through this tall pipe, which is mostly filled basically from here to there with charcoal, which supposedly will provide the filtering I'm looking for hydrogen sulfide and I guess other noxious gases. I guess it's working, but I had a problem when I sealed it up. I forgot it takes pressure to actually push the gas out through this charcoal filter, so it was trying to come out through the effluent pipe. I put in a big water loop here, a U-bend, so the air has to push down all the way before it can get out again. It was previously it was venting over in my sump, and I wondered why. Oh man, why is it stinky over here? And I thought it was wind blown from up there until one day the output was below water and it was going glug glug glug. The air was pushing through. So anyway, a big water bend. My E. coli test came back, and while they are with about half of the or 2/3 of the allowable agricultural limit, I'm still going to try to reduce that the presence of E. coli in the water, because they're kind of an indicator for other types of bacteria and other bad stuff that I don't want in my body probably or in my garden. So this is a slow sand filter basically. I'm not sure that it's the right way to do it, but it's where I have space and elevation is really tight between that barrel and that sump tank. That's what I've got to work with for a slow sand filter. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do. This one is not right. I cut this way out here because my skill saw got a little out of control. Jigsaw. But the way it's set up is basically there's the drain. On the inside I got a pipe going, and that is a 2-inch pipe on the inside. It's got a few holes drilled in it, about 1 every 4 inches down the length of it, which is about 2/3 the length of the barrel. And then that's four rows of those, so not too much, and I think they're 1/4-inch holes, something like that, maybe 5/8. Okay, so the water comes into this. The gutter has some holes in it. It's propped up. I've got a tiny little bit of batting here to help absorb the flow of the water, and yeah, it's working pretty well. I see a little bit of erosion here, but it kind of peters out once it makes its little plunge pool. So I ran this continuously today at a low rate. If I do it on the standard 10-minute cycle, it starts to overflow at this low spot. So I think the next one, I'm going to cut the middle here where it says no cut. I'm going to cut the middle there and keep because the sand filter works on head. The head pressure in the barrel pushes down through the sand, and it starts bad and it only gets worse because of the biofilm that forms in the sand. Okay, so then this drains out. But so I turned this on at lunchtime. It's about 4:30 right now, and you can see the water's a little less than clear, that sparkling clear. It's kind of like cloudy a little bit, and that's the bacteria that got washed out through the system. It was a really low flow, but it was still enough that it wasn't the clear water I'm used to, even through the sand filter. And the sand filter, in fact, might be contributing to that turbidity, that cloudiness, because I didn't wash it. So it might take a while for that to clear out too. So my plan is, there's one barrel. We got another barrel like that. And I need to set those up somewhere along the line, hopefully in parallel, to spread out the flow. These things work on low flow and blah blah blah. So, but I don't have a lot of elevation. So another idea is to set up that sand filter down in here, behind maybe next to this tree or something. Okay, there's the line is underneath all these. I think these are begonias, but I don't know for sure. Elephant's ear begonias. No, look, a berry vine. So that's the idea. I'm not sure how I'm going to proceed with that. The goldfish in here are alive and doing well, although they like to hide inside their blocks. The rest of the garden's doing awesome. I've got 100,000 berries on that loganberry bush. I mean, amazing. This persimmon tree doing great. Big green branches, no deficiencies to speak of. And this persimmon tree, I scrape the bark and it looks green underneath, but it hasn't woken up yet, so to speak. There's the spinach that I broadcasted into the hydroton, and some of it's still alive. The snails like to eat it, but I guess they haven't eaten it down. These strawberries are exploding, which is awesome. Look at all these flowers and strawberries. There's a ton of green ones right here. And the orange tree likewise, just huge. Dandelion bush. And I've been picking the flowers for the dandelion wine. We're going to see how that turns out. Strawberries again. Different kinds, but again, flowers. It's awesome. And the hot greens, they say, I don't know what they say. Ivy. That one is saying that he's unhappy. He or she. Very unhappy. Look at those leaves. And and on the other side there's worse ones where the edges are crispy. So I don't know what he needs exactly, but I think the pH in the system might be too high. It's around 7.4, but I don't do anything to regulate the pH of the system either. Marshmallow plant, amazing. The raspberry bush has put out a stalk. It's right there. Goes down to the end of the ground. Look at all those vines right there. Are all raspberry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I see in the background. The red currant bush is large, and the tomatoes doing good. Look at all these flowers they've got going on. Okay. Can't remember the name of these darn things. I'll remember it after the video. They grow a bulb above ground. This grape was pale yellow and now it seems super happy. This grape was pale yellow and is coming back to happiness, but still kind of yellow around the edges. Okay, look at those berries. Okay, so that's what's going on. Until next time, signing off.